Hello, this is a one-off video since I volunteered to judge some games. I wasn't able to play all of them. There's probably about 20-something games submitted, I think, and I was only able to play probably 15, 18-ish of them, not all of them. Maybe 15, I think, because I got some technical issues and things came up. Anyway, this is for UniteMelbourne2015, and these games were being judged for the MadeWithUnity showcase for Australian and New Zealand game projects that are built in Unity. So they get judged for prizes and all that. Now, at the time of this recording, I don't know who won, who did well and blah blah blah, but I have some gameplay recordings here as showcased here for games that I personally liked. Because at the time of this recording, I've already done the judging and submitted what I thought of the games, and it doesn't leave too much room for actual thoughts to be added or comments, so I'm just gonna do a video with the gameplay footage I have and utilize the gameplay footage I have at hand, basically. So hello, it's Leonie here. Now, first up, the game that you see right now is Crawl by Powerhoof, and they are well, the thing is, their game has been in the making for ages. They've been on YouTube channels a lot. I think they've been on the Yogscast, I think, as well, and various other gameplay channels. I actually have this game already. Before this even happened, I think I have early in the year, but I haven't played this latest version, so I just played this extra boss. And if you want to see more gameplay footage, I'll probably have it playing while I do more BurpTalk in the future. So see that around. And what I want to say about this is, it's incredible. The animation's wonderful. The sounds are tops. The feedback that you get when you defeat things. Sometimes you don't know what's going on, but then hey, you're fighting, but then you really feel involved in terms of how there's action and reaction going on. And I don't know, the UI is just there. It's really great. I like how they improved the upgrading monsters section that you'll probably see later on, or already. I don't know how I'm pacing this. And I like how they keep including new bosses each time, because they're still making it. This game is still at early access, and the full game will be available next year. So I look forward to seeing more of this when it's completely done. But right now, it's really solid. You can play it. It's a really good vertical slice. It currently goes from start to end to one of the bosses, and then you keep going at it. And I don't know what kind of story is going on, but there's chapters in the single player campaign thing, because as you can see, I'm just playing this alone, solo, with AI players, and they automatically have 2 other AI players to play against you. So basically you actually you're supposed to play with other people locally, preferably, and each of you take turns playing as the monster or the hero. And if you're a monster, you're trying to make the hero's life difficult by using traps and becoming monsters and all that, using the pentagrams. And as a hero, you're trying to get through the level and defeat the boss and level up and collect potions and the usual role-playing fantasy stuff. It's really cool. That's why I want to talk about it first. Yeah. So that's Crawl for you. Anyway, the next game is a surprise game for me. It's called Project Columbus by Prideful Sloth. They call themselves non-combative exploration RPG. According to them, it's a clash between Harvest Moon and Skyrim. For me, I can see that because I have played the really early versions of early games of Harvest Moon before, and at first I was like, this is okay. This game is okay. I see where this game is going. I'm comfortable. I recognize what's going on. The graphics kind of remind me of a slightly weird version of Wind Waker, I guess. I don't know. Somehow reminds me of that. At the beginning, I was really lost because I can tell that this was made for controllers, not for keyboard and mouse controls. So I was disoriented. I was struggling with the controls, but then I just forced myself to use it. And then, before I knew it, I found myself actually like completing the whole demo. And I'll probably have the full gameplay footage in the future once again for this game, Project Columbus. At first I thought this was going to be tedious, but then that's what Harvest Moon is. You're doing tedious tasks, and here in this game, you're trading things, you're collecting things, you're destroying trees, which reminds me of Zelda as you destroy pots and plants and all that just to get money. You do fetch quests, a lot of fetch quests, a lot of like backtracking to different towns, and essentially you're helping build this civilization up, your way up, and because you're building stuff along the way, you're making new kinds of food and collecting recipes and crafting new things, and once you do the long grind, it kind of feels weirdly satisfying. It's weird. So yeah, this is Project Columbus. Yeah. Anywho, the next game is another surprise for me because I gotta admit the graphics isn't, that great. It's not top, but it gets the job done. It has it has a weird charm to it later on. I don't know. It grew on me for some reason. But this game is called Dragon's Wake, and sure, I have a bias towards dragons, but this is a 2D adventure platform game, and it's by Brainbox Software. And despite the simple graphics, I can read a lot of emotion in it because they actually put timely music in it as the evolving story goes by. It's not really even a complicated story at all. You still somehow care for it as you are an egg, you hatch, you become a little baby dinosaur, you become a blah, 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 blah. You become a baby dragon, and you find your way, and you learn things, and you make friends, and then you find enemies, and then it's kind of saying, are you a monster, or what's going on? Because you're also killing other people while they are killing your species. It's kind of, it makes you think a bit. Not that much though. It doesn't go too deep so far. I didn't manage to finish it, however, because I got stuck because of the layer level. Like, you'll see a full gameplay footage later on sometime in the future for this game, because I kind of spent too long, longer than I would think on this game, because it's actually kind of hard in terms of platforming. It's tight as well because you earn different abilities like fire abilities, and you can somehow upgrade your abilities by eating other animals to ramp up your health and boost up your HP, and boost up how much you can hover, so you can fly higher a bit longer, and you have to actually time the hovering at the right points just to get to really, really high ledges. So it's really tight, and there were times where I'm like, should I keep going? This is so tight and difficult, but I'm like, no, I need to go to that ledge. So there are points where I just kept going at it, and finally, when you actually reach the edge. You know, with really tight platforming, you feel so satisfied when you finally reach to, like, you actually get to the ledge and get there, and you finally feel accomplished at something. Yeah, even though it's a video game. Anyway, that's Dragon Wake. So you're gonna see gameplay footage as I do BurpTalk in the future. So yeah. Okay, the next game is great. Hopefully I don't kill the name of this game. Tahira Echoes of the Astral Empire is by Whalehammer Games. It's an episodic turn-based tactics RPG, as they call it. It features a young princess who is trying to save her people from getting killed and captured or being hostages. I have no idea what's going on. I just know that things are really bad here. And she's in here to fight and lead her people. And the 2D art style is pretty, it stands in its own right, and it's rotoscope even. It's really, it feels convincing and everything. I can't imagine how long it took them to rotoscope all that. And since it's episodic, this is episode 1, and this is what I'm playing is the demo that they use for PAX, I think. And it reminds me a lot of Fire Emblem, and I can't say I'm good at it, and I haven't actually finished a Fire Emblem game. I've only played Fire Emblem demos, but I get the idea. And for this game in particular, I actually had to start again, because I realized what was going on, and I thought I want to start over because I stuffed up. And you start off with not that much people because and basically the enemy outnumbers you, and you need to figure out another way to save I think 3 or 4 groups of people who are being hostages, I think. Yeah, something like that. I don't know, but I felt this game was really atmospheric. It's not fast. It's alright. It's a strategy RPG, I guess. And if I'm gonna show the gameplay footage as well for this one, but my princess died, and then dialogue happened, and then she still kept talking, and I was like, what? But my princess died when I was playing, and I don't know why I'm still playing this game when my princess actually died. The leader of my whole team died, so that kind of broke the so-called immersion. But yeah, this is Tahira Echoes of the Astral Empire and by Whalehammer Games, and I think this has a lot of potential. Okay. The next game is Project Ven by Route 59. It's a visual novel. They describe it as an urban fantasy in Melbourne, and is centered around a small cafe. I found I really like the mood. I really like how you click to progress the story, and it's really interesting how they actually frame things and zoom into different parts of Melbourneian tram. But I think it's really distracting. It's not my cup of tea, or maybe it's too artsy for me. But I kind of like the actual main story because it's a visual novel story. I found it really executed, moody and atmospheric and everything. I mean, it's intriguing. I'm like, who is this Ned Kelly lookalike person? I don't know. But the text and the poems and all that you get to look at, what they call micro narratives, I think is really distracting. And all this floating text everywhere. I mean, at least the player can choose not to look at it. But then because of the fact that I want to be thorough with playing the game and not let my personal biases get the hang of me, I did look through it, and I mean, the writing is pretty good. It's just that it felt like, okay, this is weird because there's the visual novel side and then there's a lot of reading kind of side where it's just text, and usually I'm the kind of person who just wants to progress with the story, and I felt like I want this extra mode where there's micro narratives to be cut off to as a separate mode, so that the player can actually explore the area, or the player can explore the area after the whole main story is done, or maybe right before the main story is going to happen. They actually explore the whole area first before actually getting to the story. Because I found it really distracting to click back and forth between different modes of micro narratives and hey, back to the main story. I felt it was really unfocused for some reason. That's just me. I don't know. I just think that might be another way to do this. But then again, I know this is just a demo, and I'm just judging it based on this, and it might be subject to change. And I know that the story might change as well. So. But I see a lot of promises in this game, and I am keen to see how it changes because I think it's pretty creative, and I like how it's framing things and zooming onto different things. I like how it's composed, basically. One little nitpick, I found that at the start when you're entering the tram, I think there's too many shots focused on the act of entering the tram. I was thinking, can I just get on the tram already? But that's just me. Okay, so that's Project Ven by Route 59. Thank you. Okay, the next game. Next game is Evergreen. At first I wasn't sure what I'm looking at because all the UI on the sides and there's a lot to take in. The tutorial is kind of like even more text boxes. It's kind of overwhelming. It doesn't really take you through, but then this is a demo. I'm nitpicking, but I'm just as I said, I'm judging VX based on these demos, and I found the 3D growing on me, so I find it growing on me, so I thought it was sweet. It was good, and I like how whatever you do with growing your own tree, something happens to the life and nature around you. It's really fascinating. And yeah, I actually played quite a bit on this game, so as for this game you'll see gameplay footage as well. Whoops, that was my phone. So this is Evergreen by Siege Sloth Games. They call it a Zen. They call it a Zen single player tree and tree growing simulation kind of thing where you nurture life and everything. But then later, like I felt kind of good as I I went on with growing my tree, and I tried to figure out how to grow leaves and flowers, and then figured out that I need to trim and cut down my tree so that more flowers and all that can grow. But then at one point that you can see in the right hand side bar there's discoverables. I was really lost. I couldn't really get all of them. I got some of them by accident by just growing a tree. And it didn't really. It felt really unclear what I was supposed to do. Even though it has these vague titles, but I don't know what to do for these vague titles. Or maybe I should have clicked on them, and that's my fault entirely. But it wasn't really that clear to me, I think, in terms of the tutorial and instructions. So I don't know. That's how I played the game at the time, and yeah, I think there's a lot of potential in this game in terms of learning how the ecosystem works and all that. And like I'm surprised that I kind of enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you, Evergreen. So the next game is Red Flag by Empathy Games. It's about dealing with loss and grief, and in the demo here, you set off on an adventure to look for your lost friend and partner, Red. It's creative, and I like how the 3D polygonal art stands on its own. I like how it's a point and click kind of adventure game, and you talk to people and all that. So it's nothing entirely new here. You're really here for the story, and you're just figuring it out. And here, as a player, I'm always just kind of figuring out my surroundings, and I found it interesting how I don't know. I found it interesting how you're just talking to these people, but then there's I know it's just a demo, but there isn't that much people living here, and yet there's this weird kind of supernatural stuff going on with nature, and there's this floating golden branch here for some reason. So yeah, it's intriguing to say the least, and shows promise, but it's too early to say right now. I'm not completely hooked in knowing more, but I am interested. Wait, that doesn't sound right. I'm interested to know more about this game, but I'm not entirely sure where this is going, if that makes sense. If this game is about dealing with loss and grief, I don't know if I want to feel sad and terrible about myself. Yeah, I don't know. I find this game has a lot of promise. Red flag. Look out for this game, I guess, for the story. Anywho, the next game is called Intergalactic Space Princess by G's Games. I am so sorry, G's Games. It's an point and click adventure game about mistaken identity. There's time travel stuff going on and mini games, and I found the art style really interesting. The text seemed the UI probably needs a bit of work, but it's getting there. It's in the works, so it's just a demo anyway. And I found that, hey, here's this weird grandpa in the toilet. The mothers just seem so, yeah, whatever, just do the work, and I'm like, oh, great. That's what I felt at the time, and I'm like, wow, great. I got a jerk brother as well. He's a bully. And I didn't really get to go far in this game because this game is not finished. But I'm finding a lot of promise in this game, and I'm keen to see more of it. So this is Intergalactic Space Princess, and there's a lot of potential. Anyway, the next game I would like to mention is a student game called Cloud Kingdom by Team Iota. It's a card-based action game. It's a fantasy world, and you're demon lord, and you're fighting, and blah blah. It's a lot of inspiration from Kingdom Hearts, I think, as they probably mentioned as well. I found the texturing really good. It kind of reminded me of Xenoblade Chronicles. It's really good texturing and modeling and all that, and some battle effects and animations going on. But there's no action and reaction, so there's no feedback when you actually hit someone. In terms of watching the animation, I know this is just card based. It's kind of like a weird RPG kind of thing where you're just clicking and making attacks happen, and you have to make sure you're actually facing the enemy character. The UI might need a lot of work because there's a lot of weird tiny text going on. I was confused at points, and the survival mode is just, don't die until you get killed, basically. I don't know. I don't feel any connection with any of these characters because you don't know them. You're just fighting, I guess. And I guess it's still really early to judge. But I see a lot of promise, which is why I have this game being shown here right now. I mean, all of these games I felt had potential, which is why I'm putting it all together into a YouTube video. I played a lot of other games as well, and I haven't put it in here because either it didn't work out or they're not really my cup of tea. So I put this whole video of games, I'm putting it here because I want to show them a bit to see, to say, hey, look at these games from Aussie and New Zealanders. Yeah. Anyway, so that's Cloud Kingdom, and I hope to see it progress into a good game. Anywho, this game, another student game called Skedaddle. It's by Early Worm Studios. It's a 2.5D puzzle platformer. It involves circus animals trying to escape an evil circus, and I love how they've nailed the atmosphere and mood of this weird circus-y place. And at first you are is it a lemur? I think so. A lemur, a really meek-looking lemur who's the only one who can climb up ladders and stuff, and move stuff and push things and press buttons and trying to escape from this weird circus. And then you come across this pink poodle, and I guess along the way you have to just keep saving animals of the circus and get to the end. I got stuck later on, but then I guess it's a demo and it's still a work in progress, so I'm not too fussed up with getting stuck, and animations going wonky at one point when climbing the ladder. But I felt it was really I like the really whimsy character designs, and I find a lot of promise in this game. Yeah, so that's Skedaddle. Anyway, so that's all the games I would like to showcase. There's a lot more that I couldn't play, due to not having controllers, due to not having people to do the multiplayer stuff, due to not having VR, due to the game not being my cup of tea, due to technical issues, the game not working, or due to what else? Well, there are reasons. Oh, due to the fact that I don't have any iOS devices. So yeah, that's all the reasons why there are a lot of games I've left out that entered this MadeWithUnity showcase thing. But this is a selection of games I would like to showcase on my own. I don't think the developers know I'm doing this, but hey, hello. So that's all for me, and if you would like to see more of my videos, look at my YouTube channel, or tweet at me, or something, or comment below, or whatever. Just keep an eye on the following games I've talked about, and see you next time.